Welcome to Above the Garage.
Hi, friends. We are very excited to be back. Our break in between shows ended up a bit longer than usual due to things popping up in our personal lives, but we are back now and thrilled to be discussing a brand new Vince Gilligan show, Pluribus, on Apple Plus. Let's do our round of introductions and dive in.
Hi, I'm Marigold.
Hi, I'm Rachel.
Hi, I'm Tina.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Kate. All right, as I mentioned, this show was created by Vince Gilligan, creator of both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, and as such, a gentleman who's earned our trust in his writing many times over. So I've really been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, he's also a producer, writer, and director on X-Files. And weirdly, we have a lot of crossover with big X-Files fans within our group. So this is exciting on multiple levels for all of us, I think.
Yeah, I actually watched X-Files as a kid. Nowhere near the big fan that you are, but I also enjoyed X-Files as a kid. So yeah, very exciting.
And I think even he said in some of the press leading up to this that this was kind of returning to that style. And you can tell, I mean, from what we've seen so far.
Major X-Files vibes. I definitely got that.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me because I actually didn't know that he was involved with the X-Files, and I didn't actually watch the trailer for this show because sometimes I do that because I don't want to, I don't want to see anything. I just kind of read the synopsis and all I remember was something about unhappiness or happiness. And when I'm a big fan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. So when I started watching this, I was like, wow, this is very different. So now that you've said that, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like the setting of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul with like the X-Files flavor.
Yeah. And I adore Ray Seahorn. She was my favorite part of Better Call Saul. So
she's wonderful. She's a great actress.
Yeah, I'd watch her doing the most mundane tasks, which I guess there's a little bit of that here, perhaps. So yeah, so what did you guys think? Before we dive into the details, what did you guys think of the first 2 episodes?
The vibe of it being sci-fi, but then having that quirky humor.
Yeah, I love it.
I really like that combination.
Right.
Yeah. I was like Kimberly, like I went in not knowing anything. I hadn't even read a synopsis. Like I all I knew was like the smiley face. So I had no idea what to expect. So I was kind of blown away by like the sci-fi elements, I guess. Like I really had no idea what to expect. And I love that genre of TV. So was very excited to see that's what it was.
Was this giving Severance to you, Tina, a little bit?
Kind of Severance, but mixed with like the first episode really gave me like, does anybody watch The Last of Us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pedro.
Yeah.
First episode gave me big Last of Us vibes, but we can talk about it more when it gets to it. It was almost more unsettling because they were nice than like trying to.
Yeah, for sure.
Like the nice zombies.
Yeah, it was like because they were like zombies, but they were nice zombies, so it was so unsettling. But I was definitely getting those vibes. So yeah, there was a lot of crossover with a lot of genres I think we all like. So
even I felt like I was in like Contact, the 1996 movie or whatever, when we start out with the like huge satellites and obviously communicating with space. There's a lot of crossover with lots of different shows that I've liked in my past.
Well, the opening scene takes place at the Very Large Array in New Mexico, and that's also where Contact was filmed. So there's a reason why you got Contact vibes from that opening part.
Yeah, I actually meant to look that up and did not get around to it. So thank you.
There's like old sci-fi kind of feeling to it. The location and then stuff like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, like
totally
those sorts of films that classic sci-fi.
Then there's so many like there was an overlapping of sci-fi horror, the hive mind, the pod people, body snatchers, like you said, zombies. I mean, all of it seemed to come into play when I was watching it.
Yeah, let's dive into the details. The episode opens and Earth has just discovered communication from space. The amateur science and space lovers are, of course, going out of their minds with excitement at the idea of communicating with aliens. But, of course, this code has proven a tough one to break until a good old-fashioned football catch inspires a revelation in the mind of one of the scientists. But unfortunately for us, the receiver of said revelation doesn't share it with us just yet.
The revelatory scientist is also Drunk History. He's on Drunk History like a lot.
Is he?
Yeah.
I still have to watch that. Ever since our Josh Charles interview, I don't know how I haven't watched it, and I'm going to fix that.
He's really funny, and he has a great face, and it's like...
I feel like he also sounds like Bill Pullman. I might be mixing up the Bills. The Twister one. Unless I'm talking about the other guy. There's 2 guys in that scene.
Alan McLeod is the one I'm talking about, the one that has the revelation.
Yes, and I got the bill wrong. That's
it's Bill
why.
Paxton.
It's
yeah,
Bill
yeah.
Paxton. I'm so sorry. Apologies.
That's a confusion I've had many times.
I have made the mistake before, but like if I take a moment to think about it, it's easy. Like I can picture them both very clearly. It's just they should have slightly different names. Okay.
I also love how the show opens with the very first line is just bullshit.
Yeah.
That just made me laugh.
I love that too.
Yeah.
And all this stuff in the trailer when they're trying to figure stuff out and they're just crowding around the laptop screens and knocking cups off the table with their laptops. And
Right.
that's where I first kind of realized, okay, we're doing sort of a quirky comedy thing, but also it's intense and sci-fi. And
now that I've accidentally brought up Bill Pullman, also reminds me of Independence Day. Like so many different like influences.
Oh yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So next thing we see is a countdown clock, which is not really ever a good sign, I don't think. And a lot of scientists are hard at work with 71 days and change to figure out what's up in the lab.
First of all, I really like the visual style of that, how they were all wearing the different color like lab coats or gowns.
Mm-hmm.
So it was purple, blue, yellow, and pink. I just visually thought it was very striking. But also the fact that it was 4 colors, and before he had said something, the scientist, and when they were throwing football, he said something about it was a quaternary pattern, so 4.
Yeah.
So I thought the 4 colors was really interesting, and then
that's such a cool connection. I would never thought of that.
Yeah, and then there's also a scene where they're writing. There's somebody writing on a whiteboard, and as we know, we like whiteboards and boards with information on them.
I literally paused it there. I was watching with John. I paused it, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I have to read this whiteboard." He was like,
I took a screenshot of it, and I've got it up to talk about. There were a few things that were on there that I thought were interesting.
Yeah, I just said we're going to pause on the whiteboards. Like, I promise you, we're going to talk about it.
We always have to talk about whiteboards.
Yeah.
At the top, it was very funny. There's it said scientists and rats, and then there were hatch marks. So the scientists had no points, and the rats had 8. So whatever was going on, the rats were winning. There were a lot of different viruses listed on the board. So Shingella, which maybe is like, I'm not a doctor. I mean, I watch doctor shows, but maybe like shingles, salmonella, staphylococcus. So there's a lot of different viruses up on the board, which I thought was interesting. And then the thing I thought was most interesting, which we will talk about later, is at the very bottom of the board, it's got the name of some nerve receptor, and then it says, also found in brain, endothelium, and GI tract, which I think is interesting given what will happen when it starts spreading. So
yeah,
cool little things on the whiteboard.
My only thing was I couldn't figure out the connection, and I think I'm still questioning it even after I got to the end of the episode. So we see the VLA scientists get this signal from space, and then we go to a lab where they're doing testing on some type of, they're testing for a virus, or they're testing a substance, and then you see the petri dishes and you see all that. I couldn't make the connection between a signal, which seemed to be audio, or maybe just a radar, to an actual substance that they were testing.
Well, I can go a little like science nerdy for a second.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the signal was quaternary. At the very end on the TV, when the guy is showing her his like Jurassic Park presentation about mRNA, it divides into 4. So there's 4 nucleotides. That might not be the right word, but there's 4 like building blocks to DNA. So I think the message, the 4 was the 4 building blocks of the DNA, and they were trying to use that to build something. And they were obviously probably experimenting with viruses, different DNA sequences. That's
okay.
What I think.
So they reproduced it from the signal, basically, and caused their own demise.
Yes.
The revelation the guy had was that this was a message from space of like genetic makeup or
something? I think maybe it was telling them how to arrange the like blocks of the RNA or the DNA to build. That's what I think, at least.
Okay.
Based on my limited knowledge of genetics from like watching Jurassic Park and like taking like 9th grade biology, like that's what I think.
I think Jurassic Park genetics is what we're building this whole show off of. So I think that's too. Perfect. Yeah. Just thinking though, when you said Petri dishes, Rachel, there was also a thing on the whiteboard that said Petri dishes back ordered.
Yes.
And then later they have the boxes of them. So it's like their shipment came in and then.
Right on time.
Interesting.
That's such a great detail. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, that's impressive details. And then we depart science class for English. We meet Ray's character Carol at a fairly hilarious reading of her own romance novel. What are wine green eyes? Is wine green a shade that I'm not aware of?
No.
I've seen like green bottles of wine that call themselves like Verde or something, but the wine is not green.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
Maybe the glass. Maybe she's just saying like the wine, like a wine bottle green.
I feel like it's just like ridiculous writing, like the purple sand.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to make too much sense of it.
Funnily nonsensical, yeah. Anyway, Carol has amassed quite the following with her fantasy romance series. Despite words like mizzenmast and amaranthine slip sand, many fans line up for her autograph. One mega fan even waited in line twice. She's very good at acting nice to these people, despite revealing shortly thereafter that she hates her own books and probably her fans too.
I love how when they're announcing her signing, the guy comes over the loudspeaker and says the fourth book in her trilogy.
I didn't catch that.
I missed that. I caught the mispronunciation thing, but that is hilarious.
I also really like the woman in the book signing who was like dying to know if the male character like lived or not. And she was like, I need you to tell me or I'm not going to finish. I was like, I relate to you, woman. Like, I really, really relate to you.
It was nice that she gave her the page, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was solid. Back at the United States Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases, that's what it said on the floor, they've got some fundraiser donuts in the house as two of the scientists try to dumb down for us what's going on. Science was not my strong suit, but I trust that everything they say about RNA and lysogenic viruses is absolutely accurate and possible.
At that point, I actually didn't follow what Tina was saying because even though I did pause the whiteboard, I wasn't reading those details specifically. So I wasn't sure if they were just like, I didn't know if we were going to go the virus direction with the show at all, right?
Right.
No, I don't think any of us did. So when he was telling the donut guy at the desk about the virus, I was like, is this real or is he just making something up and he doesn't want to actually tell what they're really doing?
Right.
But then they're eating the donuts like real
Camera is
lingering. Yeah, the camera is like holding on them eating the donuts, and then the guy behind the desk kind of like looks down at them.
right.
And I was like, clearly he's thinking, okay, are you just spreading your contagion onto these donuts right now? Which gets funnier later.
Yes.
I also feel like I recognized so many background characters in the show in every scene from something. I was like, where are you from? Why do I know you?
I had that feeling too.
Yeah, and I think Vince Gilligan is really, really a master at using background characters. Like, he gives them something interesting to do, even if it's like a small thing.
Right.
So
Makes it worth their while, and it's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a throwaway character that just has a line and you move on. It's something, more interesting.
Which makes it's one of those things that makes it so interesting to like watch the show over and over again and notice these things and look up like where they came from, and then you're like, that's why he did that. It's so funny, I like stuff like that.
Totally.
I think I spend half of any type of movie or TV show just IMDbing who the hell is that in the background.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Because usually you can figure it out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun when you put it together.
I'm getting worse. My brain is getting old.
But then you try and think and you're like, who the hell is that? And then you're like, no, I'm going to get it. And then after 10 minutes, you're like, no, okay, IMDb it is.
Yeah. Actually, what was the last show we did? I think it was just a summer show.
Institute?
The main kid is the son of like Freeman? Yeah.
Martin Freeman?
Yes, but his son is Joe. Yes.
Wait, really? Martin Freeman's son is the star of Institute? Okay, now I'm going to go watch The Institute.
How insane is that? Oh, you didn't watch it. So
I know. I was slow this summer. I
found this out after the fact, and I was like, what the?
I didn't know that either.
I had no idea Martin Freeman had a son. That's crazy. Especially not a fully grown son.
All right. They've been testing their virus on many different animals so far to no avail, or so they think, until our female scientist takes a closer look at a deceptively dead-looking rat. Taking her glove off to feel its heartbeat, rookie mistake.
I know, right?
Did not watch the movie Outbreak, I guess. Anyway, when the rat suddenly awakens and bites her, she rushes to soak and scrub the hand, but next thing her friend knows, she's seizing at the hand washing station. He drags her into a shower where she suddenly comes to, much like her rat friend, and then we don't get to see what happens next. We can surmise pretty well, though, since we see her again in a moment in an impromptu makeout sesh at the vending machines with a guy who just wants his Fritos.
I really enjoyed the shot where you just see his reflection trying to get the snack out, and you see this ominous, shadow in the background of the woman walking towards him. I was like, oh no, you are fucked, bro.
And she gets like far too close to him in the reflection as well. I'm like, why is she in his personal space like that?
And then the fact that she kissed him, it was so like jarring.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Like, I was not
Yeah.
expecting her to like full on grab him and like make out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, shocked that there aren't more movies that use that as a delivery method for a virus. Like,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's what I thought at first. I was like, is this the way? It was like bodily fluids kissing. I don't know how it's passed.
The happy way to spread a virus.
So clearly.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Just the way you said that, Katie, you were like, this is the way. It reminded me of the Mandalorian. This is the way.
I just have a real personal memory for that vending machine part because the way he was sticking his arm in, I did that once on one of those claw machines and my arm got stuck. And someone from the store, I was in some grocery store and someone had to come and help me pull my arm out. It was really
Oh
embarrassing.
my God.
Anyway, that's what it made me think of.
I just kept saying, buy another snack, dude. Eat one tomorrow. Like, just buy a second bag.
Also, the snack was Fritos. Fritos are never worth it. Like Fritos in a vending machine, like
Beg to differ.
that's like snack of last resort. Come
I
on.
really love Fritos in chili, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
Eating them straight is not my thing.
That's like psychopath behavior. Like eating Fritos plain, like out of a vending machine. Let's be real.
Maybe he had plans. Maybe he had a chili back in his station.
What is a Frito? Like, what is it?
It's a corn chip.
They're corn
Extra
chips.
fried corn chip.
Oh, I love eating that stuff with nothing on it. I would totally get my arm stuck in there for
There
that.
you go.
They're also scoopable because they have like a curve. Anyway, let's just move
Yeah.
All right.
on. Do a whole podcast on Fritos
You're
later.
making me hungry.
Then her friend from the shower does his part by cheerily hopping down the stairs and kissing the janitor, and so on and so forth. Everyone then gets to work spreading the infection via cheek swabs and petri dishes. I also enjoyed the full circle back to the, speaking of circle, fundraiser donuts we saw earlier. I was like, yeah, why not? Why not lick the donuts? That'll help.
That was one of the most disturbing parts of the whole show for me.
Yeah. And the lesson is learned is you can't eat at everybody's house.
Yes.
Like, you don't like
Yeah.
The way she stuck her whole tongue out, like
Yeah.
the whole tongue.
Right.
she was
Right.
into it.
You know, once I saw this kid at the store licking a regular bottle that you can buy, like a water bottle for yourself, and he like picked it up, put his whole mouth around it and licked it, and I was like, mate, okay, I'm never not like washing any of this ever again.
But yeah, and the fact that she had clearly stuck the little note that said "help yourself" with the smiley face to
Right, the
encourage
smiley
people
face.
to eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. Twisted. The clock is getting dangerously close to zero as Carol and her friend arrive in Albuquerque. Back in Better Call Saul land. She gives her girlfriend Helen a languid nod, and off Helen scurries to rearrange the bestsellers at the airport so that Carol's is at the eye line instead of the Outlander books that are currently on top. And then it is heavily implied that Carol has some trouble with alcohol when Helen won't let her drive, further confirmed by the fact they have to blow into a breathalyzer to even start the car, which I believe is usually a court-ordered situation after multiple DUIs, I think.
Yes.
Although I think it's brilliant. Why doesn't every car have this? Unless it's outrageously expensive, it would really cut down on drunk driving and accidents and deaths.
Totally. That's a good point. Also, I have to applaud your use of the word languid earlier. That was good.
I noticed that.
Well, it's because it came from her book.
That was in her
Yeah.
book.
Ah,
Yeah, she literally said languid nod, and then she did it at the reading, and then she played it in the airport.
Nicely done, Kate.
yeah.
It was her.
You weaved that in so flawlessly. You just.
It was all her. It's not a word that I use. But thank you for thinking that I would.
I don't think I've ever heard you use it either, but you're good with just choosing like the perfect word. So I'm going to give you partial credit at least for the reference.
I'm not gonna accept, but thank you. Anyway, anything from airport? You had an airport comment, right, Rachel?
Oh, I'm a native. I'm an Albuquerque native, so I just geek out when I see all the Albuquerque
Yeah.
locations like I did when I was watching Breaking Bad. But that's all. Nobody cares but me.
No, it is exciting when you see her home.
I have some local trivia I'll fill you guys in on later, but this is just an airport, just the airport shot. So
Gotcha.
I just very much liked that it was in Albuquerque, you know, immediately just made me think of obviously Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. And I remember when I was looking up who was working on this show, Vince Gilligan has obviously got his own little team because
Right.
a lot of them have worked on Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. And I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And you can kind of tell the way it's shot too, that, yeah, he's brought a lot of his team over, you know?
Right. There's so many similarities. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the shots.
Yeah.
Also, the casting director, Sharon Bailey,
Oh, yes.
she's
Lovely.
awesome at her job.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. The shots, I mean, especially he knows how to use that sandy landscape really well.
Yeah.
Yes, very much.
Like even the opening shots with the car, there's like the truck pulling up to the satellites in the dark, and you see the red taillights reflecting off the sandy, dusty
Yeah.
stuff that's kicked up from when he drove in. And
Right.
Yeah.
He knows how to use the open space and like the big sky, and he just frames everything in these beautiful ways.
Yeah. I mean, it makes it look gorgeous. It is gorgeous, but yes.
I do hope we see some more. I would love to see some more cameos. Of people.
Yeah.
People from those shows. That'd be great.
Which they can do in this new world since they're not dead or whatever.
They can.
They stop at a bar for Carol to get a drink, and she's highly annoyed Helen won't drink with her and just take an Uber home. While they further discuss how much Carol hates her own books, Helen poignantly suggests that if you even make one person happy, that's something. And Carol does apparently have a serious book a long time in the works that she seems to like, probably appropriately called Bitter Chrysalis. I look forward to hearing more about that at some point, but it's not going to be from Helen as they head outside for cigarettes just as all hell starts breaking loose. The TV in the background is already showing the airport they likely just came from under lockdown. Outside, it's revealed that Carol is keeping their relationship and her entire gender preference under wraps from fans because she fears the reaction if she were honest about her relationship with Helen, and that Helen was the inspiration for her book's romantic lead. And that becomes the last conversation they ever have. Helen asking her to tell her fans the truth about her finally, and Carol choosing George Clooney instead to be safe. That's so sad.
Yeah.
Really sad.
Oh, I hadn't thought about it like that, but that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Makes it so much worse.
But that heartbreaking conversation is broken up by a truck barreling into a car in the parking lot. The driver is in that chrysalis-like state between human and happy robot zombie that we're becoming familiar with pretty quickly. And poor Helen is only one step behind him when Carol returns to her and finds her seizing up, as is everyone inside the bar. Carol loses more time when she can't start her own car because of the drink she just had and the breathalyzer.
good comedy beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So she pivots to trying to pull the guy in the truck out, which she surprisingly gives up on and shoves him into the passenger seat instead. She could definitely pull that guy out, especially since she lifts Helen into the truck bed next.
I wondered about that though, because I'm wondering if does anyone know about seizures? Because does that make a body completely rigid in that way that would make it
Probably a dead
even
weight.
more difficult for her to pull it?
You're very hard to move. My aunt had a seizure once when she lived with us, and you are very hard to move once you've had a seizure.
That's what I was thinking.
I also feel like she was just so desperate to get help for Helen that it was like, I don't want to even take the time. Like, I can shove you over much easier than I can like drag you out of this car.
Right.
And I really felt like she was, sometimes in movies you think like, wow, what are you doing? Like, go help the person. But I felt like she was doing everything she could do in the situation. Logically,
Well, I thought it was brilliant. Her use of the sign was brilliant. I wouldn't have
Seriously,
done that.
yeah.
I would have been dragging the body and trying to, and it was so smart to just use that sign.
Exactly.
If this ever happens and I'm with you, you'd all be fucked.
Well, now you know what to do. You just learned.
She couldn't lift her suitcase when we were traveling together onto the belt.
Yeah, Kate's half my size and she's much stronger than me.
I do have children. I have had to lift children, but no, you are especially weak, uniquely weak.
You'd have an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, true. Adrenaline would probably help that quite a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We just needed to startle you before telling you to lift your suitcase.
Yeah, you should have done. You should have.
Okay, so when they go outside first, Carol's like, "Oh, look up, the planes are flying all parallel." She very distinctly points out the planes.
Yeah.
And when I didn't catch it until I watched a second time to take notes, but it almost looks like their planes spray for crop dusting.
Yeah.
So do we think that's how it spread so fast?
That's what I was wondering too.
That wasn't my take.
I was wondering because it was everybody. So I'm like, how?
Right.
I was like, how on earth did it get to everybody? Other than maybe they
lots of people making out.
Spread it airborne. Yeah, but and nobody was making out. So I was like, was it the planes? That's what I was trying to figure out. What do you guys think?
I didn't think of that, but that's a really good point.
That's an interesting take. I hadn't thought of that because on my second watch, what I thought it was that they had been affected by the hive mind, so that's why everybody was flying in the same direction.
Oh, it could be that too. I just noticed like it almost looked like, like the smoke.
I know. Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder if they're like crop dusting everyone basically and giving them the happy virus.
That would make sense.
I think there's still that question because it doesn't make sense how fast it spread. Like,
Yeah. And it was
Yeah.
everybody instantly.
Because
yeah.
in the beginning, they were spreading it physically from one person to the next. And then in this case, everybody is just immediately infected. But it's like truly like everybody in the world at the same moment is infected. Because like Kate said, they're already showing the effects on the news, breaking news. They had enough time between what was happening at the air base to what's happening at the bar area, but it seemed to be happening simultaneously with the hospital. This scene, this is where I have my local trivia that I wanted to share, because the parking lot that they're in, I'd recognized it as soon as I saw them standing outside. And there's two things about this location that I thought was really interesting. One of them ties to Breaking Bad. So the one that ties to Breaking Bad is that at some point around the end of Breaking Bad, an actual headstone of Walter White was created. And this parking lot, on the opposite side of the parking lot from where they were standing, against one of the external walls, is where the headstone was mounted. So it's one of the tourist attractions that you can go to see.
You didn't see it actually in this show in a shot or anything, but you just know it's in that area.
Not in the shot because it's like way on the other side of the parking lot.
That would have been cool if they had included it. I wish they had like
Yeah.
flashed it by in the background.
Like way in the background, and if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like pause it and zoom in, you can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, since it's two different worlds, like you can work that in, you know?
Right. Yeah, it's the whole thing where different actors exist in a show or a movie that has other actors in it. Like,
Right, exactly.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
The other one is that the other thing I was going to mention is that the bar they were at, I looked it up. There's no bar there that actually exists. But in one shot, you can see, like, there, if you see the wall that has a mural of Al Capone on it, up above, there's a sign that says, I think it was Los Ranchos Liquors. Well, that's a fake front to a restaurant that's called Vernon's Speakeasy. And behind them was a door. And when you make a reservation to this restaurant, they give you a password so that you go to the door, you knock on it, they open up the window and ask for the password, and then they ask if you're a cop, and then they ask you like a sequence of questions, and then they let you in, and it's really fun. So anyway, I was just wanted to share that because there's like, it's just like a really cool spot in Albuquerque. So the shot from when Carol is at the truck and you can see Helen in the background and Helen just falls back. That is such a chilling shot because she just falls straight back the way that, a conscious person would not do because you try to stop to break your fall or something like that. It was just such a chilling way that she just fell back onto the ground like that.
Yeah, definitely. Going back to a happier moment from this scene, their dialogue was really great when they were standing out on the road together talking and smoking. There was that line where Helen says, I don't have it word for word, but she basically says, light the other person's cigarette first. That's etiquette.
Yeah.
And then Carol is like, do you put your own oxygen mask on first?
I think the writing's fantastic. Like
so
the
good.
back and forths.
Yeah, there was a line at the bar too when she says, I don't clink glasses with fucking Diet Pepsi. I thought that was really funny too.
Which she should. She needs to get over it.
No, it's like kind of fucked up. Like
It's kind of fucked up, yeah.
yeah, like she's obviously got a problem, and
Yes.
regardless, it's better not to drink, kids.
Yes.
All right. En route to the hospitals, more chaos, overturned ambulances, fires all over LA. No surprises inside the hospital either. Everyone's transitioning. This is probably not the right time to notice this, but I really love Carol's yellow jacket.
Yeah. It's very striking.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It fit her really well too.
I used to have a jacket like that.
The costume designer is Jennifer L. Bryan, who also worked on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
I like a lot of the costumes, so well done.
Yep.
I love that they keep all the people, their teams.
It's very cool.
I just want to shout out the composer of the show, Dave Porter, who again also worked on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and I thought the music really added to the show. Like, it just made it even more terrifying for me when I was watching.
I'm going to pay more attention to that next week, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Outside the hospital, Helen actually comes to, but only for one very short happy moment before she actually dies, despite Carol's efforts at CPR. While Carol's been working on reviving Helen, everyone in the hospital is up and about again, coming out to collect Helen. And of course, the doctor tries the kissing trick on Carol, but she is invincible to that one. She screams, "What the hell is wrong with everyone?" And everyone responds at the same time, "We just want to help," which would be creepy enough. But then they add her name, which really elevates the fear factor infinitely. How does everybody suddenly know her name? It was a good horror scene.
I just like the fact that she obviously is pretty unhappy by what we've seen of her, and I just like the what's a good word to use? Just the fact that she's one of the people that
An anomaly.
Immune to the happy virus?
Yeah.
she's immune to it, and I just like that she is already, pretty much annoyed with the world by the sounds of it.
Yeah, the premise of the whole show is very funny.
Yeah.
And I very much relate to her, like the cynicism, and I get it. I like it. I like her character a lot in this, and it's a brilliant choice for the show. That's all.
I had one more note related to Helen's death, but I just wrote down, this is how you react when someone you love dies. And I'll just let you guys think about what the fuck that means.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It's really sad. Also, why did Helen die in that way? Like, because of the fall, maybe?
Back at the bar, when she's looking around all the people, there was a chef or something that had fallen and there was blood. So I assume maybe he fell on a knife or something.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, and it could have been that the way that Helen fell, she
he hit her head.
the back of her head, whatever. I mean, that could have been what caused her actual death.
Right.
Something I saw inside the hospital when Carol first goes into the hospital trying to get help, and the nurse or doctor who she's talking to is seizing and she's telling him to wake up. Behind him is this another one of those digital displays, and it looks like there's a schedule on there of some kind. It shows Tuesday, Wednesday, but above that the words say "Join Us," which I thought was really interesting. That the only thing you can really see on that digital display, that the spelling is "Join Us," which you hear later on in the episode. So
Right.
Yeah, good catch. I think the next thing, when Carol is driving away from the hospital and there's just chaos behind her, stuff's burning, people are running around. I love the way that was shot
so good.
because they had her out of focus in the front, which is a very unusual thing to do, to have the person in the front of the frame out of focus. But you could see so sharply everything that was happening behind her.
Which is so creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see the people just staring straight at her, everybody's staring in the exact same direction, and then they walk slowly. There's something creepier about the fact that they were walking normal instead of chasing after her. And then there were a few people who were running, but they had a purpose. They had fire extinguishers to put out fires. But everybody else was just walking normal. I don't know. There was something even more creepy about that to me.
Totally.
It really reminded me of the first episode of The Last of Us because it was nighttime. Everything kind of goes to hell in a handbasket all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But in The Last of Us, they're evil zombies. They're fast. They're running. They're trying to kill you.
Yep.
And this one is, like she said, they're nice. They're trying to help. They're putting out fires. They're helping each other. It is almost way more unsettling. It actually was way more unsettling for me watching it happen nice. Just because that's not what we are used to seeing in zombie movies,
No, and I think we're wired to instantly not trust that. Everybody's saying in unison, "We're just trying to help, Carol." That's not normal. There's nothing natural or normal about that.
Yeah, it was all very unnatural. In real life, and what we're used to seeing in that kind of moment in movies and television, nothing about it was normal or natural.
Right. And the slow walking too. I don't know if you guys have seen From. I watched it recently because I think Melissa recommended it. But yeah, that's a feature of that.
Yes. It's harder to enact violence on people that are acting like that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you think it's unsettling and weird, it's well, am I going to run you over with my car and you're saying, I'll help you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's messing with your mind more than a typical zombie or a threat would be doing. So there's another layer to it.
I've always thought that that's the scariest type of horror movie to me, or concept, is a mimic, a person that you a loved one that is not acting like themselves. So you said, Aubrey, do you kill this person or can you trust that this is the person that you love? So
Yeah.
Right. No, that's the hardest. You can't. It's basically impossible to actually kill them, even if you're convinced that it's not the person that you love.
yeah. It's like if they're a zombie, it's pretty straightforward. Like you just kill them. But like,
Right.
But even that with a person that, that you love or a family member, even that is always emotional.
yeah.
Lots of good horror show qualities in this.
Mm-hmm.
Even once she gets home, when she realizes she's locked out, two presumably neighbor kids come out and remind her of where she hid her spare key way back in April 2016. Side note, her house number is 1208, which is the same number as the fictional car wash Gus Fring used as a front for his drug operation in Better Call Saul.
Nice one.
I love that.
That's fantastic.
I did not remember that. I did Google, I just saw 1208 in large letter,
You were doing your license plate research.
No, I was. I've stopped license plates, but I did do this.
Now, just any number that pops up, we're going to just Google it. That turned out good.
Speaking of numbers, I have something to say later on about numbers and the meaning of the show.
Cool.
Ooh, okay.
I look forward to it. That is the extent of my numerology for this entire show. Yeah, but I digress. The kids are right about the key, and as she drags Helen inside, all of the neighbors converge on her to share their Helen condolences. In unison, of course. But interestingly, when she tells them to go away, they listen and ask her to just give them 2 minutes to clear out, which they proceed to do. There's so much funny, strange dialogue in this show that delights me. And then all the cars like reverse at the same time and peel out at the same time.
And did the kids drive themselves because they like are walking towards the car and you hear the little beep beep from the
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Inside, she rushes to the TV, which is disturbingly ready for her, with a message written specifically for her to call this number when she's ready to talk. And so she does. And the zombie fellow on the screen speaks back to her on air from what used to be the White House press room. Understandably, Carol poured herself a couple drinks before making that call. She's already concluded it must be an alien invasion. Same conclusion I would draw, I would think. And I loved her performance here when she's like, what's with the weird? And she moves her body back and forth in a hilarious, like, robot-y way while simultaneously absolutely losing her shit. It was too funny. It was so good. He denies that anyone is an alien, but acknowledges that 14 months ago they found a signal from 600 light years away, which was basically sending an RNA sequence that they used as a recipe to bind everyone together psychically. So she's talking to every person on Earth right now. The president is dead. I laughed when they explained why he chose this guy to talk to her, because he was nearby and he happened to be wearing a suit.
That was so funny. Like, that's all it takes to be important, is be a man, wear a suit, done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a great commentary for actual real life.
I love too when he's waiting for her call and he just reaches down for his water bottle.
Yeah.
Just takes a sip, puts it back.
He was standing so still.
Yeah.
The only thing I wrote down about this is, one, she was probably the most excited anyone has ever been to turn on C-SPAN and see it still working.
Yes, she's like, God bless America.
Yeah, and she was like, God bless America. And like,
like you can always count on C-SPAN to be on.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to point out was, would anybody else pay attention to the little, like, the chyron, the thing on the bottom of the screen that like normally displays like headlines?
Yeah.
I wrote down all of the things it said because I thought it was so funny.
It was really funny.
So it started with, you are safe, then your life is your own, then landlines only, because she could only call using a landline, then just dial 0 24/7, then we can't read minds, we're not aliens, then just signal from space, then Davis Taffler, USDA, which was that guy, and then the last one, which I think is most telling, was just said, we're one.
Yeah, I missed some of those.
But I just died when it was like, we can't read minds, we're not aliens. It was just funny how it kept updating. Like, whoever was working the like control board was doing a really good job. Like at C-SPAN. Like, they were on it.
I have to go back and watch that. I did not.
Yeah. I thought it was so funny. It's like, the second time I wrote down every single one because I was like, these are all the funniest things I've ever seen.
It's hilarious. I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but the fact that it seems that they can all, every person has everyone's thoughts and everything in their brain. Like, I have too many thoughts in my brain already. Could you imagine having literally everyone in the whole world's thoughts? Like, that sounds terrifying.
I can't imagine it at all. And they're so calm about it. I don't understand how it works. Like they keep saying, how does it work? It just does.
Maybe it's all that, what is it, like 98% of your brain isn't used or something?
That's maybe. They're using their entire brains now.
That's everyone else's thoughts just in there waiting to be loaded into there.
He tells her that there are 11 other people like her that were not affected by this insane plague, But they're going to find a way to fix that so she doesn't have to feel left out. And she just immediately curls up into a fetal ball. Again, exactly what I would do. And then the episode ends with the clock counting up now.
And didn't, like, the last thing she asked, or one of the last things she asked was, like, what happens when I don't want to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is very good, because I don't know. Like Kimberly said, my brain's already messy enough.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want all, 8 billion people in the world in my head at once. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Get out.
And have no autonomy or, individuality or anything anymore. I feel so freaking desperate. Like, I would just be 11 people versus billions of people that have the knowledge of everyone on Earth. Like, what am I even supposed to do about this?
But they don't want to hurt you, so that is...
yeah, they want to help.
We want to help you.
That's right. The card.
Just dial 0 will bring you anything you want.
The just dial 0 is too funny.
What a
because I feel
service.
like you're at a hotel.
That's true. That's so true. I do feel like I would be asking for a lot of stuff at some point. Like, first, I would spend a lot of time just being like, no, this is crazy. Anything I ask for is going to be contaminated, whatever. But then you'd reach the fuck it stage, and you would just be like, bring me, and just a whole list of impossible things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's a wrap on our discussion of Pluribus episode 1. Come back soon for our discussion on episode 2. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.